Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Patrick's Parabox for what is honestly probably not the final episode unless something fairly miraculous happens. But I figure a lot of the meat of this series is me figuring out the puzzles. Like the people who like this sort of thing, that's the part of it that they must be here for. At least some of y'all. So I figured I shouldn't do all of the puzzling things out off camera, but also how much fun is it to watch me just struggle for an hour and not complete anything? So I've made some breaks. I'm pretty sure I have a solution on one or two of these. And then I have thoughts on a couple of the others. And there's some like this guy over here that I still have nothing on. And we're gonna fiddle with those a little bit as well. But one thing I will say is that it is remarkable what a difference a weekend's worth of perspective makes. For this one, I had pretty much the right idea, right? I had an overall idea of what needed to be done here, which is construct that space where the objects are sequentially nested and then just move out of one to go up the nest sequence, pushing blocks out in the places that it makes sense. And that's all well and good, except that at some point you have to actually do the construction. I was constructing on camera last episode. I was trying to construct infinity first and then reorder it once we're inside of it, which is a way more difficult thing to do than to just construct the infinity in the order you want it in the first place here in non-infinite space where we have walls, right? So I'm relatively sure this will work. So what we do need to do is we have to start with this, right? This needs to be... No, we end with this. Sorry, this needs to be the biggest piece. So the smallest piece has to be this one. So we put you in here. And then I think it's not going to matter which one we put the blue blocks into, because we can just carry them through the infinity with us. Right, so I feel like this is the relatively easy thing I should have seen before. Now we tuck this all inside of... Oh, sorry, before I do that, I guess actually, hold on. We can shove these in here. All right, then we tuck these all inside of a reference to the innermost object. And there we go. Then we have our properly infinitely cycled space. Right? Obviously. So in order to be able to push things out the top of it... Wait, do I have a solid plan here? One of these is going to have to be in the blue layer. And one of them is going to have to be in the green layer. That we know. And then everything's got to be at the top, right? That looked very strange. So when we go to here, yeah, now we can push things out the top. So we climb out into the blue layer, push a box out, climb out into the green layer, push a box out, climb out into the brown layer, and climb ourselves out. There it is. I had a broad conceptual understanding of the thing that the solution was going to have to be, but I was not approaching it in a way that was going to allow us to reach the steps necessary to construct that. I don't know what was going on. It's definitely better, now. And then I think I got a reasonable crack on this one. So what I was thinking was that we needed to, position one of these here, and through some kind of shenanigans, emit from this a blue block onto this wall such that we'd be able to push it up and form a blocker here. But I had in my head some version of nest the thing inside the thing to reach what is it, epsilon space here? Yeah, to reach epsilon space, but then go somehow form enough blue blocks against a wall that I can then press myself into one of the sides of this thing again. I don't know. I don't know what my plan was. I don't know how I thought I was going to accomplish that. However, I have a different plan now, and I'm like 100% sure this is going to work. Because what we can do is just make it impossible to enter this thing instead. Rather than trying to figure out a way to deal with the fact that it's impossible to leave, just make it impossible to enter. And we do that basically by doing what we were doing before, and just what I was doing last episode, and just completely jamming it full of blocks. So when we do this, it places a block in here. Do that, and now we've consumed 2 blocks into the top, so we've formed this thing. Now, the idea is, if we push enough blocks out this way to block up all of this space and block up all of this, things will no longer be able to enter this space from the left, right? And I think we have just enough blocks. Oh, wait, what am I doing? We have just enough blocks for that to work. So we have to push you down here. Right, so now we do this. We keep pushing like that, so it's consuming things with its left edge, pushing them into this space, pushing them out, and we need to eat 3 more in order for it to be solid, which we totally have. And now that we've done that, right? Yeah, there we go. Can't enter the thing anymore. That was obtained through just a lot of messing around and trying to jam things in there in different arrangements and realizing I was able to get the yellow blocks stuck. But those ones are pretty straightforward and just me not figuring it out because my brain was not, the chain had slipped, basically. Now this one I still don't have. What do we have left? We have this thing, the epsilon puzzle. The last one is that one where we can't zoom the camera. And then what is this? This is this thing. Okay. Well, I guess let's give a little bit of love to each of them in order, shall we? So, I theorized last time that however I figure out the solution, this is going to be a really important part of it. Figuring out what this wall block does is going to be critically important. But what can we do with it that is of any value at all? Okay. Oh, you know what? It's not just a wall block, though. It's a hole, right? What if we push stuff out of here? So oh no, never mind. We can't, right? Because I'm talking about being able to push stuff out of the pointer to here to be able to if we emitted a block that we could take control of, then we could just push this thing off the wall. We emit the block, take control of it, and then push this left. And then this thing could be the thing that occupies that space. But that is impossible, right? We can never emit anything from the pointer under any circumstances here. Because, again, the meta puzzle block is... I can't believe it didn't, the reason it didn't occur to me is because it's impossible, right? Because this space is against a wall and it will always be against a wall and there's nothing that can be done about that. We could do this, and if I press down now, we enter epsilon space. That doesn't really do anything for us. So we have here, I mean, this is kind of interesting, right? This space and this space are both exactly the right size to use this as a blocker plus this plus that to leave something here, like to show you what I mean. If we push this here and then there, right, that allows me to just leave the wall block right there, which makes this wall inaccessible. Like, you can't push into the block from this side anymore. But what you can do is just, yeah, consciousness swap, and then... And I guess that's not anything, because, like, this already accomplishes that, right? Just leaving the yellow block in place. It feels like it should be significant that we're able to create this hole, but there's no way for us to come out of there, right? I'm trying to remember, did we ever learn any weird infinity or epsilon style tricks for getting emitted from a pointer? And I think the answer is no. Solving this game very, very slowly over the course of many weeks with a big, huge life-changing move in between them and stuff. I mean, it's possible it's not the most optimal way to do this. Well, actually, you know what's interesting? Hold on. What if I do this? Now we can actually enter through there. And if the wall block was right here, then when I press left here, it would push the yellow block there, and when I press left again, I would follow it. Okay, is that possible? How would we leave the wall block here? Because, like, it's pretty easy to get it there, but I need a way of... Oh, yeah, absolutely it's possible. It's possible. Hold on. Because we do this thing, right? Push you here so that I can't push this block to the right. There we go. And then when we push this out of the puzzle... Oh, man, that's totally it. That's totally it. Okay. That's actually a really good challenge area puzzle because it does combine an awful lot of the ideas from different areas of the game. That's a very satisfying solve. I feel really good about that. Okay, this is the next one, yes? Yeah. Okay. So we need to emit some blocks from a double epsilon block, and then we need to emit ourselves from an infinity block. How do we actually do this? So it's easy enough to construct the path to infinity, right? Put the space inside a pointer to itself. Yeah, okay. If we do the opposite... Right, because that's the definition of epsilon. We make a move into a pointer space, then it tries to move us to the real space, but in doing so, the real space only contains 100% of the real space contains the pointer space, and so we move into the pointer space, and that idea loops infinitely. Okay. So with this, we could get like boxes into epsilon space, and then back out of epsilon space. But if we put a pointer inside of... Is this going to do what I want it to do? Because if we press up right now, it should put the pointer into the epsilon block. And then when we press up again, we should move into the double epsilon block, right? Because we'll move into the pointer space. It'll take us to the real space, which takes us back to the pointer space, which takes us to the epsilon space, which takes us to a pointer space, and then loops that entire idea. Why is that? Well, because we don't just get dropped into epsilon space, we enter it from a direction. Right? So if this were up here, right. That movement's not infinite. But if that's up there, then when we do this, the pointer can't move. The pointer that's inside the epsilon space can't move, and as such, we enter the pointer in the epsilon space, which takes us back up to the beginning of that logic loop. Okay. So if we do this, we can... And then... Well, this isn't going to work if we push down, though, right? Because we're just going to... When we press down now, the yellow block is going to push the pointer out of the single epsilon. But it would work for this one. If we just go up here and we shove this in the corner, oops. Press the button the appropriate number of times, shove this in the corner. Yeah. And then all we have to do is... I mean, like, we can do this, but, like, the utility of that is actually pretty minimal. Hold on, how do we... I was starting to feel pretty good about that. How do we... Right, let's get the pointer in here with the epsilon. Because we have to be able to do an up push and a down push, and... Hold on a second. I do wanna test something. I know this isn't like the solution, but okay, and it does satisfy that block being full. So that's how we're gonna do that part. But we still need to be able to push a block down to get it out of the double epsilon, which we could do down or we could do up. Doing both down and up is a little trickier. Okay, hold on. So we don't need all of these blocks. Oh, I should be careful about this. Let me push that out of this in a different way so I don't trap anything against the wall. Okay. So can we do like a wall spacer thing? Like if we make this happen... Oh, right. Yeah, shoot. You see what I was trying to do, though? I was trying to create that situation where the pointer space is inside the epsilon. Well, you know what? I could still do it. Okay, so we do it like this. No, but that's not going to work because now when I press down against this, it's going to push the pointer out and it's going to consume the yellow block. And then in so doing, it's going to get teleported to it's going to enter the real space from the bottom, pushing the pointer up onto me? Wait, what? I'm going to press down here. What is going to happen? No, that totally works. Why does that work? Well, I guess because the pointer can't move up because the initial force of the push is me pushing downward. Maybe? I will admit that I don't fully understand. It makes sense intuitively to me, and that it doesn't make sense if I actually try to think out the individual pieces of it. But I guess my intuitive understanding was right, so this does work then. And then... Ah, shit. Oops, that's not what the point of that was supposed to be, and then we could push this thing out of the way, right? And I'd be able to get underneath this and push it up against the roof. How did I think this was going to work? All right, hold on. Let me try constructing that again. Let me try to make sense of that. So it's probably going to make my life a little bit easier if we do this early on, and then we also probably want to do that. Okay. All right. So. The only way to do this, the only way to get the pointer into the epsilon space is to push it against a wall, right? This idea is not going to work. I can't use the block as a spacer because I have to push them against one of the other walls to make that functional. Yeah, shit. I thought I had it. Because, like, if we could get the pointer inside the epsilon space... Wait, can I? I think maybe I was just ordering it wrong. Because, like, pushing a block inside of there now... Yeah. This is going to work, I think. Right? So we set up the situation now. Then we push the pointer inside of the epsilon space. And then we don't follow it through. We just leave it. Just fucking leave it alone. It's fine. Okay. Why was I doing that in such a silly way? Okay, this should work now, right? If I push a block through here and then down, and then we come out here, we kick the block out of the way so we can push this against the roof to create a different walled circumstance. And then we push you over here. Cool. And then I have to enter the pointer from any direction this way, which pushes the pointer. So I enter the real space from the real space's left side, pushing the pointer out to the right. And then we just reverse the stacking. That's an infinite space. There we go. I got there eventually. That was a real solution, real itch. Maybe this is going better than I thought it was going to go. Okay, so I did have an insight on this one. I don't have an answer, but I realized the initial state of the puzzle is supposed to be a hint that I just was not taking before. Because I was trying to figure out, like, how would we get a piece around this bend and then have it no longer be the piece we're controlling, but still have it be over here somewhere. And the answer is, with the puzzle set up the way it is right now, we can absolutely do that. I could just bring this piece to here and press up. And hey, look at that. Ain't that rocket science? I did not attempt to work the puzzle any further from there because I figured, hey, that's the kind of breakthrough that I might want to pursue on camera. So let's see if we can figure it out. So we need to get... I mean, is it going to be the case that I can just walk all of these up there and do that? So we tuck this in here. And then this just needs to be against anything that can have consciousness. Right. So we do that. Oops. Oh my god. I'm just now realizing that the 3 doesn't have eyes. So okay, if the 3 doesn't have eyes, then if the 3 doesn't have eyes, then we have to emit it from something over there. Which in theory we can do, well, yes. Right? In theory we should be able to do that. Cuz we could leave stuff in the trap here. How would I do that? What would actually be the manner of that? Okay, hold on. Let's play with it a little bit. So the core idea is something like this. By doing this, we can consciousness swap. Oh shoot, I need another block. Here. Okay. By doing this, I can consciousness swap into here, push this, like, leave that back there. And then now, if we could emit from double infinity, the thing it would emit would be in a position where we could just leave it against the top. So the deal with the 3 is that it is going to have to be last, though, right? Because we're not going to be able to push anything into this position afterward, or anything into these positions afterward, and we can't take control of it to move it aside. So all right, let's figure this out. Trying to get the 4 out of the way so the 3's at the end of one end of the sequence. I don't know if that actually makes sense. So, I mean, realistically, the only thing we can do emittance-wise is this, right? We can emit the 3 from the 0 infinity block. But that's the only one. So we have to put the 0 infinity block up there now. Wait, how is that going to work? Right, because what we have to do is we have to put this here and leave it there. Which... okay. If we use the 1 infinity, put that here, then when the 0 infinity block is up against the bottom of this, when I press up, my brain goes into the 2, right? Yeah, okay. Oh shoot, but that's not actually what I want to do. Sorry, I want to emit this. Because I want the 1 infinity block to be the next part of the cycle. So we do this. Okay. So now we can... oh. Shoot. Okay, sorry everybody, this is taking me a little bit to figure out. Like, that's not going to work either, but let me show you what's going on here. Wait, why does that... oh, right, okay, because of the way this is set up. When I press up, I'm pushing this block out of this block, which is this block. So causing it to emerge from here into the space above it. Shit. Because, right, like what it needs to be in the end is the 0 infinity block is like here somewhere. I use something to push the 3 infinity block out the top, which allows it to be in the sequence. Shoot, though, if this is here, then there's no way for me to transfer consciousness, because I can never block this space enough for an upward push to do anything other than that thing right there. I really thought I was onto that for a second. So, okay, what's another way we could do this? I do still feel like that the fact that they set the puzzle up like this so you can see that that's what you need to do seems like a really obviously important thing. Okay, all right. What if we... Okay, she has a thought. What if we dump the 1 block back here, then we emit the 0 block from itself, causing it to be emitted from the 1 block. Then we can emit the 3 block from the 1 block in this way. Okay, so we can get the 3 block up there, is my point. It's not maybe the most helpful, because, like, necessarily... Let me set that position up again. So we just put whatever up here. We need something to be the thing that's at the top, stopping us from moving. So we go like that. Then we transfer consciousness all the way up to here. No, sorry. We go back down to here, then we transfer consciousness up to here. Okay. Push the 1 block out. That has to happen now, I think. Shoot. Yeah, I can't get stuff out of the corner anymore is a big part of the problem here. All right, one thing I can do is push this all the way down into the corner proper. Which allows me to pin this to here. No, it doesn't. Shit. Okay. So this lets me get more blocks into this cycle. But like I can't transfer my consciousness around. Right? Well, I mean, I can break the cycle, but this isn't useful either, because now the space is just a wall. So like, how do I turn this into blocks being... Okay, transfer consciousness, then do this. No, I still can't transfer upward, because any upward push is just a push. Shoot. Really thought I was getting somewhere there. I feel like I'm probably closer, but that's sort of a double-edged sword. You know, in these kinds of puzzle games, if your solution is close to the real solution, that can mean you're like a step or two away from it. But it can also mean that conceptually, like, you made a wrong step somewhere very early in the process, and you have a you have a solid idea, but you're going to have to go back to the beginning and use your idea to come up with a different process altogether. Okay, all right. That's something. That's something. Let's have a look at this one again. So, does it seem correct that the stuff I was doing at the beginning of this one before is the only way to approach it? Yeah, I think so, right? It's like, I'm pretty sure... So push this over here and then we go around it. I'm pretty sure this stuff is all necessary. And then is there any way to use this space to do anything other than what I was using it to do? If I push down here, that's just going to go in there. Yeah, I can't use this block to pick up this block because this block has holes in the middle of the only two sides that we can access. Yeah. So I mean, this does feel like it feels like everything up to here is us doing the only thing we can do in almost every case. In literally every case. Then we can push this to here. This is harmless to do at the very least because it, we can recreate the original situation from it very easily. Just remapping this space for the sake of my own brain. Right, so that's got that. So this is the ceiling right above us here, right? Yep. All right, so we've got these two. Easy enough to do that. But then there's no way to... Right, because if we do this to let me back into the yellow block, not only can I not actually enter the part of the yellow block I need to enter this way, but now we've trapped that blue block in there permanently. Nothing can be moved, and we can never fill this left space ever again. However, I also can't enter from the top. Well, wait, is this... Oh my god, is this incredibly simple? Hold on, I'm feeling a little silly. This can just be the other way around, yes? My face, it is in... I don't do the camera thing. My face is in my palm right now. You're just gonna have to trust me. That seems very simple, actually. Remarkably, shockingly, incredibly simple. And that means it's just you. Okay. All right. Okay. We can do this. So what I need to do in the end is array all of these blocks against the top of this thing. Wait, what am I doing? Why am I so certain that the 3 needs to be a part of this at all? Couldn't we just leave the 3 here? Right? Why does this need to be a big, complicated, weird thing? Because we don't even use this space, really, in our little maneuver. Okay. Alright. What am I... Ugh. My brains, sometimes, like, frequently I am doing too much effort. That is a common issue. Okay. So now the question is, how do we end it? How do we finish the sequence? Because obviously now we have a problem. Now we're back to this problem where I can't leave. I feel like I'm so close, and it's really frustrating for there to be one puzzle left. But I'm trying not to, I'm trying not to rush, basically. I'm very excited to have actually finished it. Not that I'm excited it's over in that sense. Obviously, I'm bummed out about that, but so we can move consciousness downward in the chain. So the idea probably is, the idea probably is still something like this, where we go. Right, and then we just push this like up. Nope. We do that. Sorry, my brain is like, I'm starting to feel a little bit fried. It's probably really obvious, actually. So what we need to do is I need the 0 infinity block. I'm having such a hard time doing the pushes here. I need the 0 infinity block to be here. So we wind this around in a really weird, complicated way for the purpose of doing this thing. So that we have something that can emit the other blocks. And then now that we have that, I don't know why in my brain that was gonna emit the 1 infinity block from the 2 infinity block. It has to be the 1 infinity block that gets left up there, right? Like, okay, so we do this. I don't think it matters exactly how far down that is. This gets out of the way, though. And then I can emit myself from... we can push you out of here. There we go. These have to be... these have to be done a little bit more carefully. But there's a version of this where I can't push stuff up out of... like, this has to be the bottom element, then. No, this being the bottom element wouldn't help, though. I still wouldn't be able to push my consciousness up the chain. Right? Because that's what we need so that we can tuck we can just like move consciousness up here, tuck things in. But I guess even if I could do that, like I get my consciousness to here and then what? Oh, I feel like I've almost got this. So if we just... if we put, let's say, this thing over... No, that's not going to work. It's going to be against its own bottom. That's a bad outcome. We don't want the zero infinity block sitting here. But like we want it to be, we have to figure out a way that we can... Sorry, I know I'm not even speaking in thoughts right now. I'm speaking in these little really frustrated bits of thoughts because I keep answering myself before I finish the idea. And the answer, no matter what I'm saying, is no, that's not going to work. Right, because like I can do this thing a couple of times, but it leaves us in the lurch eventually. So if I push this up to here now, when I go here, when I press up, I'm emitting myself from the 3 infinity block. If I put the 3 infinity block here, when I press up, it's going to push the 0 infinity block upward out of itself, which is going to cause it to come up out of everything else. Yeah, and that doesn't... I need to... But like, that's also true if this is elsewhere, right? Like, I just can't... Once you put that thing up there, you can't get it back. So I'm going to rewind until it's no longer up there. But also it's the case that like anytime it's... And if I put this here, then I'm just going to step out of the 3 infinity block. I'm frustrated because I feel like I must be right at the end of this. And because I'm not having any ideas, I don't have anything to say. And it's kind of a bummer that I've done... I sort of thought like, okay, I've got ideas in my head for like 2 solutions, I think. Plus maybe a crack on a 3rd puzzle. And we'll work that out. Maybe we'll get that 3rd puzzle. Maybe we don't. If we do, maybe we'll make some headway on the others. And there'll still be... It'll be like I'll complete 2 or 3 puzzles in an episode and leave 3 to 4 puzzles left for what will probably actually be the last one. This is a much worse situation where I did like 5 of the 6 puzzles I still needed, and now there's just 1 thing waiting. And this is too small to be the finale. So I do feel like I am obligated to figure it out now. I don't know that this is the end either. I guess I should say, like, it is entirely possible that we'll complete this and something else will happen. It feels climactic though, in the sense that like they showed us all the cool stuff, and I feel like this is a post normal sequence puzzle. And at the end of the post sequence, you expect it broadly to actually end. That may not be how all puzzle games work in practice. Baba is you, but you know, I think it's a reasonable assumption. I'm also feeling a little fried. I do need a break. I need to stop looking at this for a few minutes. So All right, at the risk of the last episode perhaps being something of an anticlimax, I am going to wrap it here for this one. And when y'all come back next time, the final episode will just be this one final puzzle, or will it? I guess, hey, the suspense will be a good motivator at the very least. And we'll see you then.